Happy Monday, everyone. It is your friendly neighborhood warlock Gubstep, and welcome to this week's episode of Raiders on Rails, where I give you tips on improving your raiding experience. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Number 1. Stopcasting Macro. Large defensive cooldowns, spells, and some other items will not work while casting. This can be problematic if you need to use a defensive ability, battle res, or some other type of cooldown while in raid combat. A Stopcasting macro makes it so you stop your cast immediately and use the ability. Here you can see I'm using my Dark Pact defensive cooldown while casting Unstable Affliction. The spell doesn't actually activate until Unstable Affliction is finished casting. Now we are going to use a Stopcasting macro. As you can see, it was immediately used and stopped casting my Unstable Affliction. Losing one cast to save your life or immediately get a tank backup can be the difference between wiping and successfully downing a boss. So let's make a Stopcasting macro for my Dark Pact really quickly. Hit escape, go to macros, click new, name it whatever you like. I'm going to call mine Dark Pact. Pound tooltip means that when you hover over the macro on your bar, it will show you the tooltip of the spell assigned. You'll type /stopcasting, all one word, and then below that, you'll type /cast and then the spell you want to use, in this case, Dark Pact. That's it. Drag it onto your hotbar in replacement of where you had your non-macro version of the spell, and you've just created your first Stopcasting macro. Number 2. What is a Prepot? A Prepot is using a combat potion a few seconds before pulling the raid boss. This gives you the combat buff of a potion and puts the potion on cooldown for 60 seconds if you're out of combat. This allows you to use the combat potion again during the raid encounter, so you're able to benefit from the buff of the combat potion twice if you use it just before you pull the boss. Number 3. Lag Tolerance. What is it and how to adjust it? Lag tolerance is how early your next spell is queued. By default, this value is set to 400 ms, which is 0.4 seconds. This may seem small, but in some cases, it can make combat feel really clunky because your spells are queuing too early if you have low latency. This can be changed through the /command /console SpellQueueWindow and then the value you want to set it to, or through add-ons like advanced interface options. My general rule of thumb for calculating your ideal lag tolerance is 200 as a base and then plus your current latency. So in my case, I have 25 latency on Tichondrius. I would set my lag tolerance at 225 by typing /console SpellQueueWindow 225. I wouldn't recommend going below 200. While your latency in-game might be 25 or even lower in some cases, that's not actually how long it takes for the server to process your actions and get them back to you. If you end up setting this value too low, it ends up feeling like you can't queue your spells. Feel free to play with this value and see what works best for you. And those are my 3 tips for this Monday's Raiders on Rails. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you want to see future content by me, be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button. And I will see you next video.